Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you very much for listening on TuneIn, on iHeart, at edmontonsportstalk.com. And, of course, those of you who are rolling with us over on YouTube today as well. It is the Lock Shop. We are presented to you by Play Alberta, and we are loading up plays over on the specials page today. I think I just tweeted out my play of the day. Kind of been running around like a chicken with my head cut off with this move coming up. Yes, there it is. A nice boost on the Guardians. Minus 130 to minus 112. Hello, it goes from chalky to very playable. Here's what else we got going on. If you've not yet checked out Play Alberta, I mean, if you're listening or watching the Lock Shop, I'm assuming you're probably riding with us. But why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta, your go-to app for casino games, sports, betting, lottery, all in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. Haas is going to join us from Winnipeg Sports Talk. We'll talk a little bit about the Blue Jays, put together an MLB parlay. We got some CFL updates that we'll get to. NFL camps are underway. 3M Open as well. We'll give you some golf plays today. If you have any of your favorite bets, slide on over. Post them in the chat on YouTube as well. And yeah, we got lots to get to today, actually. So it should be a lot of fun. Here's what we have up for you right now on our specials page. Use the code EST Sports, deposit 20, get 50 at Play Alberta. We've got 4 different plays up already. We'll hopefully have a little MLB parlay coming out of the Lock Shop. Jay's play of the day still to come as well. And we're getting to that time of the week where we start to just hammer out CFL bets, which is always fun. Yeah, I could see many of you probably becoming bigger fans of the CFL because you're betting on it with us here in the Lock Shop. But Lock Shop Partner Parlay remains up. That will remain up until kickoff tomorrow. Stampeders to win, Riders minus 3.5, Ticats plus 9.5, Argos plus 8.5. As I mentioned, not as confident in that one because it looks like it'll be Colaris versus Arbuckle, although we all know how that went last year in the biggest game. Plus 223. Ravens to score a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, every single game this season. Ravens rushing touchdown every single game this season, 15-1. Blue Jays to win tonight with a Kirk hit, plus 172. And then, like I mentioned, Dusty's play of the day, moving the Guardians from minus 130 to minus 112, taking them to beat the Orioles again. That was part of our parlay last night. It cashed. They've taken the first 2 games against the Orioles, 10-5 and 6-3, covering the run line in both of them, and they've won 8 of their last 10. So I like the Guardians to get it done again. Baltimore has lost 6 of 7. Their one win coming against Tampa Bay 3 days ago. So being able to move the Guardians to a minus 112 number, me likey. So you can find that over at Play Alberta as well. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Like I said, if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and you would like to chime in, feel free to fire those texts in, and we'll get to a few of them as we work our way through the day. My boss at TSN just texted me and asked me if I wanted to talk to anybody for the game on Saturday, but I'm not doing the game on Saturday. I don't think I am. I hope I'm not. Let's bring it Huss today. Huss, am I working on Saturday? I'm supposed to go camping.
Yeah, well, Argos Bombers, 7 p.m. BMO Field, Dusty. Did you check your schedule? Wouldn't that be wild? Just the play-by-play guy didn't know he was supposed to do the game.
Well, I mean, I hope they didn't change anything. I'm going to be camping. I don't know.
Camping in downtown Toronto.
I got to fire this text already. I'm not.
Where do you stay when you do games for BMO at BMO?
I haven't done a game of BMO forever. This Ticats game is in Vancouver. So, I mean, no, that can't happen, man.
No, it's Saturday's Bombers. Saturday's Bombers Argos.
Yeah, no, it would have been the Sunday game. But
was there 2 Saturday games this week?
Is there 2 Saturday games? No, I think there's a Sunday game. He's confused. And it's funny because he's the guy who makes the schedule.
Oh, yeah. Hamilton, BC on Sunday. Bombers, Argos Saturday.
Yeah.
Elks, Riders, Elks, Riders Friday, and then you're doing the Calgary game tomorrow?
I'm driving down to Calgary later today, probably not till the evening. And then I'm doing that game tomorrow, and then we're going camping for a couple days in Drumheller, which has a huge dinosaur museum.
Listen, dude, when I worked at the Oilers, we had a guy, shout out to all the boys, Damon Bunting.
Bunting, yeah, he's an EST guy.
Elmo, if he's watching right now, and Scott Jakes, who is from Drumheller, Alberta. And I was educated on the dinosaur history of that part of Alberta very early into my time in your beautiful province. And never did make it to the Drum, but was given many opportunities. Do you want to come down and see the dinosaur?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe we'll work that in at some point.
We went a couple of years ago, checked out the dinosaur museum. I'm guessing not much has changed at a dinosaur museum in the last 2 years, but I'm sure we'll be going back again because we're going with a couple of other families. So I'm assuming that'll be, that'll be the plan. Are you
a big camping guy? I'll
answer that with a question. What do you think?
I would have been leaning no.
So here's how this whole camping thing went down. So we've got I wish I had more time to be better friends with people, but I just really don't. So Tammy's become good friends with a couple of couples, and they've got kids that have been with our kids since like kindergarten and stuff. And they wanted to get together and do something in the summer. And obviously my schedule's jammed, but I only had the Calgary game on Thursday. So I was like, that's my one window. I said, that's like our one weekend off in the summer. Yeah. So I'm in Calgary. Come down, pick me up Friday morning, and then we'll go down to Drumheller with these people. And so the other two families, I think, camp a little bit more. Now, they're not rolling fifth wheels, like they're tenting it. And then Tammy was just like, well, we don't have a tent. I said, no, we don't. I said, are there cabins at this place? Like, can we get a cabin and they can set their tents up right next to us? And she's like, the cabins aren't close to the tent area. So what we ended up settling on was like a perma tent almost, like a little igloo sort of tent that'll have a couple of beds in it. So it's not.
But that's already there, or like you've got there. That and you have to set it up?
It's there, and it's next to a couple of tent spots. So they'll be able to set up their tents, and we'll have this, because I don't like my chances of setting up a tent house. I'm not going to lie. I don't see me doing that. Like, I have to have the other two dads come over, do it for me. I look pathetic. So anyway,
you got any idea how this one works? We're just starting. I mean, I'll be good. Just a quick thing. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, you know how to do that. Thank you.
Doing the old one, like, the ones I used to set up in the past, they were different. And then they set up theirs and be like, that's the one that I used to have, or I used to set that one up. But they're both listeners. They understand how inept I am at most manly things. Actually, so we're moving to a new office on Monday. So we come back from Drum Sunday, come in here, try to wrap things up Sunday night. Monday, we'll do the morning show, and then we're going to start moving everything over. We're going to do the rest of the shows from Boston Pizza Westgate, which will be a lot of fun. So that'll be good. So Lock Shop Monday, I'll be at BP's Westgate having a blue moon. But I went over last night. There was one wall that kind of needed to be painted. And I have never done a paint job by myself. Like, my parents have helped me in the past. Tam and I have done it together. When we moved houses, we had a guy who, I'll never forget this dude. He was amazing. I don't know if I still have his. So our realtor is like, I got this guy who paints and he'll come in and do it for you pretty reasonably priced. And I was like, okay. So he came by to their new house and I said, well, we want to paint this one. This one is Elizabeth's room. If we get painted pink and paint Marshall's blue and all this stuff for now. And I'm sitting there going, oh God, how much is this going to cost me? And this guy's like, all right, man, that'll be like $350. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's only $350 to have like all this painting done? So he could have charged way more. Mind you, I learned yesterday, so our new office is literally above a paint store. So I went down to the paint store. I said, hey, I need this color, blah, blah, blah. And last night I taped it. I cheated. First I had, like, there was some white spots where there'd been holes and they fixed it and kind of, whatever you do to it, you fill the holes and then you sand it down. And I was like, oh, I'm going to paint this wall. I'm going to fix this wall. And I cheated. I tried to just paint the white spots and be like, I hope it's the same color. I hope it matches. And it didn't. So then I had to tape down the entire wall, paint the entire wall. When I wrapped it last night, I'm looking at it, I'm going, man, this doesn't look good. Like, it looked like blotchy. Like the roller was like lopsided or something. And I was like, this is a mess. So I put on 2 coats and I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave it. We'll see how it dries. I went over this morning. Looks perfect. Perfect. Oh. I couldn't believe it. So I painted a great blue wall last night. I was stunned. First time ever.
I did not think that's how this story was ending.
Yeah, no, I know, me neither.
I was going in a right different. Well, that's good for you. I mean, I'll be honest. I think the last thing I painted was like a paper mache dinosaur in like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So I have not been involved in any big paint operations as well. So
paper mache used to gross me out. I liked the final product, but I hated doing it.
Yeah, it stunk a lot.
Yeah, it was, and the texture was kind of gross.
But that's good. So the new office is, well, how's the location?
It's good, man. It's 800 meters from this office, so it's not far.
Okay.
And it's right across the street from a Harvey's. Harvey's Swiss Chalet combo. So we're in a pretty good spot, bud.
I had his Harvey's Swiss Chalet combo just down the street. Winnipeg people will know. Corden, Stafford, right in the heart of the neighborhood. It was a chicken delight for a long time. Then it flipped over to the Harvey's Swiss Chalet. And I don't know what it is with Swiss Chalet in Manitoba, but it just never got the love it gets out east. And in one of the more tragic developments of my neighborhood, the Harvey's Swiss Chalet closed and it was taken over by a freaking Starbucks. Like, what? The last thing anyone needs is a damn Starbucks. I guess Starbucks wanted it because there was a drive-through.
What a slap in the face to you.
Oh, I mean,
that's disgusting.
There's a few things coming out of the pandemic. I mean, obviously this has not been a great run for, a lot of things, but first of all, we've lost some good restaurants that didn't really come back. The other thing, and I don't know whether you see this as much in Edmonton as we do here in Winnipeg, but 24-hour food options and late night food options have diminished significantly. Like, places that used to be open till 1:30 or 2 might be open till 12. Things that were open till 1, they're open till 11. I don't know whether it's the staffing thing, just people's habits change and they don't order Chinese food at 1:15 a.m. anymore. I'm not sure, but it's your options. I mean, even Salisbury House, which was the iconic 24-hour place.
I've been there with you once, right?
They came back. Oh yeah, we've been back. Yeah, great spot. And there's a few of them, but growing up, those were always the 24/7 places you could go in. Like, I don't even know if the Denny's is. I
was just going to ask people, like, is Denny's still 24/7? I spent so many early mornings at Denny's in my 20s, man. Like, it's funny. I was thinking, like, it's got to be a generational thing, because we were walking back from the Lions game on Saturday, and like just walking up past like Granville Street or all the good streets there in Vancouver. And we were crossing the crosswalk, and there's this group of young people who were going past us. And it was like 7:30 because it was a 4:00 game. It's 7:30 maybe, latest 7:30. And I'm hearing them walk by me in downtown Vancouver. And I heard one of the girls be like, I think I might just kind of go home early now and get some rest. And I was like, it's Saturday night in Vancouver, 7:30. And these early 20-somethings are like, I'm just going to go home and chill on the phone and not go to Denny's at 3 a.m. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
We've lost our way as a society.
You know what? I remember one New Year's, we went to Denny's in Cranbrook after my buddy's dad owned one of the strip clubs in Cranbrook. And on New Year's Eve, they'd shut it down, and we had this huge New Year's Eve party for a bunch of us who were like, it was actually the Y2K party. Remember that? That was a big thing. But that night, we went to Denny's after. I'll never forget it. And I was sitting there, and they brought the food out, and I was 20, New Year's Eve. Like I was gone. And I'm sitting there, and I remember I grabbed my fork, and I scooped up a pile of eggs, huge pile of eggs, and I put it in my mouth, and I started chewing, and it was actually 2 huge scoops of butter that I just put directly into my mouth. I'm like, oh. I looked at my buddy. I was like, buddy, these eggs. He goes, dude, you just ate all the butter. I was like, oh, that's disgusting. So, I mean, now people might not get to celebrate times like that if these Denny's aren't staying open all night.
Hey, you said that he owned one of the strip clubs in Cranbrook. How many ripper
I think there was 2 back then. Yeah. That was a good time. Those are good times. So yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just, I'm furious about that whole Starbucks replacing Harvey's Swiss Chalet combo.
It was terrible. And while you bring up the world of exotic dancing, there's another thing that's really taken a hit.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, now they sort of got worked. I think so many of them turned to OnlyFans, and then realized that they can control their own stuff. They don't have to be running around. They don't have to be getting on the floor in some of these dirty ass bars.
Yeah, just like, gross places.
Sort of a better thing, but
I was not a huge pervert guy anyway. But I don't think I've been to a gentleman's club in. I mean, 7, 8 years, maybe, like pre-pandemic. It would have been pre-pandemic, probably on a stag, and that's it. Like the last time.
I was there on Wednesday.
Oh, you're such a beauty, buddy. I love you. I had my regular seat on Wednesday.
No, it was a friend's birthday. We went by. Okay, listen. This is a quick shout out. Are you familiar with the? Are you familiar with a meat draw?
Yeah. That was a big thing in Manitoba, from what I heard. Yeah.
So like, a lot of the legions will have come in, you have some beers or whatever, and you buy 5 tickets for $5 or whatever, and you put them in, and they draw. Someone wins a thing of bacon. Someone wins a couple steaks. Someone wins a couple of things. So there's a bar in Winnipeg that has combined the love of the meat draw with their weekly exotic dancing on Wednesday night.
God, come on.
You get a ticket for every beer you buy. You get a ticket. And then at the end, and then a dancer will come up, do their thing. And at the end of the performance, the dancer will pull a ticket, and you win the ham, 172623. You win the ham. So they grab the blanket, grab the ticket, give away the meat, 10-minute break, and then
are you serious? This is
serious. That's where I was on Wednesday.
What'd you win?
So I think Greg, I think one of the guys did win a couple steaks. But I was amazed because I wasn't really like, I've got some friends that, are active in a couple of the legions. So over the last couple of years have been by there. Oh, we're going for the meat draw. I'm like, okay, what the hell's that? Hey, I'm fine. I'll go there for a couple beers and whatever. But then when I found out this incredible hybrid between the Wednesday night dancers and the meat draw, I realized that our friends at the Marion were really onto something here. So, if you're, I guess it is Wednesday. That's a big night tonight. Folks in the greater Winnipeg area, you can go grab a Fat Boy Dairy Whip and then pop in for a couple beers, a couple dances, and your chance to win some meat.
You're going to tell me the Lock Shop doesn't get at least nominated for an Esty? What are we even doing here? Come on, this is good. This is good stuff.
Hey, speaking of podcast awards, did you see Time Magazine put out the what is it? It was the list of the 100. Let's see if we can, the 100 most, how did they describe it? The podcasts of all time, the best Times list of the best podcasts of all time, 100 podcasts that shaped the genre and pushed it forward. And no, pardon my take, no Joe Rogan.
No Joe Rogan? I mean, I'm not even a Joe Rogan guy, but I was going to ask you, is Joe Rogan top 5?
I mean, by any standard, I'm sure it would be. And like, I don't really listen to it, but I mean, he's like, how that is not shaping the genre and pushing it forward, I don't know. And I mean, PMT is by far the #1 sports podcast of all time. They were overlooked. Bill
Simmons got on it, right?
And then you've got like Amy Poehler started a podcast in May, and it's on the list. Although I did see Times Group, but I don't know. I thought there was supposed to be a lot of diversity in the workplace there right now. I saw the panel of everyone that put it together, 100% female. So maybe they did miss, pardon my take, Joe Rogan and a couple of those other ones that skew a little bit more. But anyways, shocking omission of the Lock Shop.
Unbelievable.
In this top 100.
Like, I've heard of the Lock Shop. I've heard of none of these other ones. This is a farce.
We need a better PR team. That's what we need.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I think first we need to win an Esty before we go after Times Magazine. So, yeah. All right. Speaking of winning, the Blue Jays were not able to do it yesterday, Huss. And man, they had the guys they wanted up in the 9th, but they just couldn't overcome that 9th inning bomb.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, honestly, you go back to having, runners in scoring position. Was it in the 7th or the 8th? A couple of great opportunities. They had, a runner on second with 1 out and ended up getting him, I guess Springer getting him to third, but just not able to catch him through. Hey, listen, Yankees are a good team. I thought their relief pitchers really did a good job of getting out of a couple jams where the Jays did have some opportunities. And then just that one, man, that guy got a hold of that pitch in the 9th inning. Yeah. It was gone. I mean, Hoffman for the most part is good, but when he's off a little bit, he can get got. And he did. But I'll tell you what, it just sets up what should be a great matchup tonight. I mean, you got Fried and Bassett going head to head in the rubber match of it. I believe the Jays are a bit of a home dog in this one. And, they are. We got Jays money line. Kirk hit 172. So it's a good number. And he didn't have a hit last night. I think he was 0 for 5 or 5 plate appearances didn't have it. So I think I like that. Last night. I played over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs for Kirk last night. And I think that's the reason why he was so quiet. We'll blame stay away from him tonight. You can cash that ticket.
Saw this on Hoffman. This is from Brian Swain, local guy who puts out some good numbers on stuff. Jeff Hoffman has allowed 23 earned runs this season. 1 via wild pitch, 2 via singles, 4 via doubles, 16 via the home run. So, like, when he misses, he misses. And outside that, he's pretty good. But 16 earned runs this year via home run for Jeff Hoffman. So, now I heard they set a hot dog record last night. Did you see that somewhere? Somebody texted in today.
I didn't, but I'm not surprised because I think they had 42K in the building, and it was on one of those one of their hot dog nights. So, not really surprising that they hit a brand new number just with the amount of butts in the seats for that one.
Here it is. I do have it. In fact, Keegan Matheson did say the Blue Jays announced that a Looney Dog record has been set tonight. The ticker is at 77,902 dogs. And then he says, ... allegedly, #GlizzyGate. So, I mean, the previous record, according to Shai Davidi, 72,600. That's about, I mean, we're talking on June 3rd, they did 2.07 hot dogs per fan. Do you think that's real? 32,000 people, 64,000 dogs?
Yeah. I do.
Lot,
I mean,
man.
it's crazy. And they're not huge ones. So, I mean, people will get. I know when Jake was there last year, I was getting him to, he ended up getting 5 or 6. I think he made it through. Speaking of hot take, did you catch the Barstool After Dark stream last night from the bleachers across from Wrigley?
No, I did not.
They did the, the 999 challenge.
Yeah.
They did the 99.99 challenge, and they got a group of guys in those bleachers across the street.
The ones across the street up top there, yeah.
Rented the whole thing. They got a bunch of the bigger dudes, heavy dudes to come in, and they put a team together to eat 99 hot dogs and have 99 beers in the 9 innings with a special guest, Joey Chestnut.
Oh, my God.
But Chestnut was not allowed to help with the dogs. He could only drink beers. And Joey Chestnut in 9 innings did house 20 beers last night. So he's a multi-tool.
Joey Chestnut drank 20 beers during the game?
Yeah, 20 beers in the 9 innings while everyone else is trying to eat away at the hot dogs.
Do you think his tolerance is a little bit different than like ours, even with booze? Just because his body's so like stressed all the time, or what?
Because he's a superhuman?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like,
yeah.
Like, was he hammered? I guess. Do we know, was he hammered off of 20 beers?
Yeah, I mean, he certainly looked. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw some of the clips at the end. They did like befores and afters of everybody in the event. And I mean, he looked pretty greased. I mean, I'm sure they were like light beers or something like that. So he was able to get through 20. The funny thing is, he can hold so much in his superhuman stomach.
Yeah.
Like, I bet he probably could take down 30 or 40, but then once it gets there, you have to deal with the aftermath. So a nice, calm, easy 20 beers for Joey Chestnut last night, but no hot dogs.
Aiden over in the chat says they finished at 84,731 dogs last night in Toronto. So
again, the average, the hot dog analytics are continuing on. They're at a just over 2 HDB PF. That's analytics right there. Hot dogs and buns per fan.
All right, we got 3M open. Want your thoughts on that? We'll get there in a second. NFL camps are underway. CFL updates. Zach Collaros going to be going? How about this?
Good to go.
Yeah.
Good to go. Yeah. He, and it was funny. I hadn't heard this for sure, but I knew that he was going on the Handled Internally podcast yesterday, which the Bombers put out.
Yeah.
And the minute I heard that he was on the pod, I'm like, okay, well, obviously he's doing well enough to do that. I don't imagine they'd be rolling him out in an injured capacity or in the concussion protocol if he wasn't. So he did it, and he was out there leading the offense yesterday. No Stanley Bryant, though, which is a concern. And it's funny, I was just talking to Aaron Korolnik in Toronto, had AK on for something that we're going to do later on today on WST. And I mean, he's a big Argos guy. Like, he goes to the games. I mean, he's very sharp when it comes to betting on this. He told me he's already bet Winnipeg, which is a little surprising to me because of just how much trouble the Bombers have historically had in Toronto. Never mind where they're at coming out of these last couple of games against Calgary. But I rest assured that Toronto's going to see an ornery Bomber team going into that game right now. What are the updated lines? Has there been much line movement?
You know what? Let me bring it up right now. Let's take a peek here. So Calgary's now at 7. That's moved even this morning. It was at 6.5 yesterday, I think. So Calgary's at 7. Riders Elks stays firm at 9.5.
Yeah.
Bombers Argos. This has obviously been bumped and moved because of Collaros. Bombers are now 5-point favorites on the road as they look for revenge on Arbuckle. And then Lions and Ticats is still sitting at 3. So what's that, 1.5? in that Winnipeg Toronto? Is that the move? Was it 3.5 before? Or was it 3?
It's up to 5. I thought it was 3 yesterday.
Yeah, it might have been 3. Might have been 2.
3.5.
Zach's worth 2. Zach's a 2-point swing, isn't it? Like, don't you think?
I would say, yeah, considering what we saw from Strev last week. I'll be honest. I'll be taking the Argos and the points in this. I just remember too many times where the Bombers have been amazing and the Argos have been mid, and they go into BMO. And even if they're able to win, it's like a last second field goal. Or I mean, these games have come right down. And listen, I give a lot of credit to Ryan Dinwiddie. I know the team has one win. I still can't believe they didn't win that Montreal game that you did last week.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, he seems to scheme very well against Winnipeg, and they are always really, really tight, tough games. And more often than not, the Argos are winning. So, and it's another good thing. I think we talked about this earlier on the Lock Shop, but if we didn't or people missed it, there's a real trend going on right now in the Canadian Football League where look at the lines when they open on Monday or Tuesday and watch what happens over the course of the week. And there's been some big, big line movement. Fading that line movement has been a very profitable strategy. It happened 3 times last weekend, and every single game that moved 2 or more points in a direction, one of them went 5. If you backed where things started and, went against the line movement, you were winning. It happened with the Montreal game. Toronto won. It happened with the Sask game. The line moved 5 points towards BC. Saskatchewan won, and it did the same thing with Winnipeg and Calgary. The line moved more towards Winnipeg, and Calgary ended up winning. So, it's interesting to see that this Calgary number is getting bigger. I guess I saw at 1.10 yesterday, and it's gone back to Sask. It's gone back to 9.5. Just that's a big number. But that Bomber number moving up to 5 was not something I anticipated, even if. You've seen the Argos up close. I mean, they seem to be close. They've got a lot of good players on their team. They're well coached. And Arbuckle hasn't been that bad. It's just like they found crazy ways to lose football games. But I don't take anything for granted for this game for the Bombers on the road on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I don't. It sounds crazy to say because they're a 1-win team. I think they have trouble running the ball. That's why I know they have trouble running the ball. Like they haven't been able to run the ball at all this year. Now, they got Mac Mahan back last week. He had a touchdown. Maybe that changes things. I think that's the biggest weakness in their game right now. They either don't run or they can't run the ball. Defensively, they got some playmakers over there. You got Winton McManus back in the middle of that defense. He can get after it. And offensively, Arbuckle has had some turnovers, more than they would like, but he also has some weapons. Coxie's one of the best deep threats in the league. We said it earlier, Meatall is kind of like a Nick Dembski light for them right now. He's heavily involved in the offense. So I guess what I was going to say is, to me, the Argos are better than their 1-win record. And I can't say the same about Ottawa and Edmonton.
Yeah.
And when they get Chad Kelly back, I think they can push anybody in the East. But Arbuckle hasn't been awful. And they still haven't found ways to win. And I think it's their inability to establish a running game. So, I mean, if Winnipeg can get Brady going early, should be able to control the football in this game. But Arbuckle's been able to move it, man, and he's not afraid to take shots. So, I mean, you guys know about that. So I don't need
Jordan
to
Younger. Jordan Younger is going to have a great opportunity to there was a lot of talk about the way the defense prepared and what they were able to do and what they didn't do against Toronto in the Grey Cup. They got another crack at him, and of course, coming off their toughest performance of the year, with VA just sort of slicing them, especially on second down. On CFL 110 yesterday, Hammer and I put together a parlay. We did the stamp at the time. The Stamps number was 6, and we didn't want to have it on an even number, so we took the Stamps to 5.5. We got the Ticats plus 3.5, and then we just took the Bombers money line because, as I say, I could see this being a 1-point game, a 2-point game, especially when the line's already moved. I think it was plus 440 before, and now it's just over 4-1 because, of course, the Calgary line's moved up. What do you think about this BC Hamilton game on
I think both teams might score 30 points. I think that's what
4.5 total.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 games this week that are 54 or more, and it's the Edmonton Riders game, and it's Hamilton and BC, and I feel better about Hamilton BC hitting that over. We'll see how that plays out, but yeah, it's at 55.
What's 55 now? Yeah.
No, I'm looking at it. I got 55.5 for the Ticats and the Lions. Yeah, and then the other one, Edmonton Sask, is at 54. BC's defense, I mean, they just haven't made plays yet this year. I would assume Bo has a pretty decent time moving the ball. And then Nathan Rourke, in 4 of his 5 starts, has thrown for over 300 yards himself. So I think it's going to be an absolute air show between the Ticats and the Lions. It should be a highly entertaining game. That one's at 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, some serious fireworks expected in that game.
I was wondering with the Colaris thing. Remember that parlay earlier in the week? Stamps to win, Riders minus 3.5, Ticats plus 9.5, Argos plus 8.5. We still like that, right? It's plus 223.
Yeah,
we get the Argos at 8.5, Ticats at 9.5, Riders 3.5. I mean, in perfect scenario, I guess I could have moved Riders inside a field goal just in case, and then the Stampeders on the money line. So you can still ride with us on that one. That's sitting at plus 223 right now over on the EST specials page. So I'm going to be gone the rest of the week. Usually we talk golf anyway on Wednesdays. Now all the big tournaments are done, right? There's no more elevated events. The majors are done. I think there's 2 events left before FedEx sort of gets cranked up a notch here. One of them is this 3M. Obviously not a huge field. Well, it's a big field, but not as many of the big names as we would usually see, but an important tournament for a lot of these guys who are trying to advance to the next step here in the playoffs, right? So this is valuable to a lot of these guys.
Well, definitely. I mean, for the most part, you don't see a lot of the top guys with playing the last couple of weeks, the Scottish Open and the Open Championship. This is a time traditionally where most of the guys in the top 50 are going to be taking some time off. Which makes it a very interesting board. I mean, Sam Burns is the favorite at 16-1. Gotterup, who had an incredible finish at the Open, coming off of his win at the Scottish Open, is second up at 18-1. And then I'm looking at Matt McNeely at 20, Wyndham Clark at 25, Grazerman and Pendy at 28, and then Tony Finau, he's won here before, Ricky Fowler, Jake Knapp, and Davis Thompson at 33-1. But you make a great point. I mean, this is a tournament that I think for guys that have had down years, I think they're sort of looking to finish strong heading into the playoffs. I think of Akshay Bhatia, who's in around 40, as a guy that, was, potentially for that. Emiliano Grillo is at 42. And of course, he was right there in that playoff a couple of weeks ago at, again, one of these lesser events. I think it was the John Deere, if I'm not mistaken. And then some other guys, like it goes to show the season that Sung J Im's had. How is Sung J Im 40-1
in this field?
In a field like this? I mean, Max Homa's there, Siwoo Kim, Adam Scott's playing it, which is interesting. And then that bomber, Thorbjornsson.
Yeah, actually, I'm on him this week.
I see Luke Clanton is in this, and he's, one of the young guys, top AMs, just ended up turning pro earlier this year. I seem to remember guys like Matthew Wolf popping big time at this event right after turning pro, and a few of the others. I'm going to put a little sprinkle on Clanton, I think, at 50-1, just to get in on that. Bhatia at 40-1, I like as well. And you know what? Tony was pretty good at the Open. It's been a quiet year for him, but he's coming back to a place where he has won before. It's a field that he can go toe-to-toe with anybody in it. So I'm really surprised. In previous years, the Finau number, he would have been the favorite, and it would have been like 14-1. So we'll see if Tony can get her going. I don't really see a lot of value at the top couple players, but if anything, there's going to be some guys probably at bigger numbers, very much motivated to get the FedEx Cup points they need to get into the playoffs. So it could be a leaderboard with a few familiar names and a whole bunch of other guys that are not normally there right now. What's on your card?
I like Thor Bjornsson. He's cashed in 8 of his last 9, 3 top 5s, 5 top 25s. Very good tee to green. He can bomb it. He can absolutely bomb it. So I like him. I don't hate Sam Burns this week either. I know he's at the top of the board, but it's like a number that you can live with, right? They're not running out something inside 10-1 here. So
yeah.
Like it's a number that you can live with at the top of the board. And he's been playing extremely well. He's cashed in 11 straight, has a playoff loss mixed in there among 3 top 10s and 7 top 20s in his last 11 starts. And at this event, he's got 2 top 15s in his last 3 appearances here. So there's a reason he's the favorite, but I like the course history. I like the fact that he's been playing extremely well for about 3 months. So he's at the top of the board, but sometimes the guy at the top of the board wins. And I do like Sam Burns this week. I like Thor Bjornsson as well. I don't know where I come, like, where do you, I know you said you don't like many guys right at the top, but Wyndham Clark fired out a 76 and then went 66, 66, 65, finished T4. It's his 3rd top 20 in his last 4 starts. He's finished T5 at this event before. But you're staying away? You're staying away from Wyndham?
Well, here's the thing with Clark. Like I said, he was really impressive on the weekend at the Open. I'm not sure why he's playing in this event. I mean, either maybe he just feels like he needs the points. Maybe he's got some sort of a connection with one of the sponsors. Although it is a 3M tournament. I mean, they're a Minnesota-based company. It's at TPC to Twin Cities. I can't say that 25-1, considering how good he looked on the weekend, doesn't sound a little tempting, though, I guess, is where you're going on this.
Right? He was finished red hot on the weekend. Rolls back into a tournament that doesn't have, a lot of big names, and you get him at 25-1. I don't necessarily hate that either, really. And the Gotterup one's interesting. I mean, this guy, Gotterup, is an amazing story. I think I saw when he flew across the ocean, he was like 130th in the world, and he came back like 28th or something like that. Like just a life-changing trip overseas for Gotterup. Now, so much momentum from those last 2 weeks. I think I'm staying away from him this week. Maybe that's crazy when a guy's this hot, but I just feel like there's got to be some sort of emotional letdown for this guy after the trip that he had overseas.
Listen to his year. Started off with the Century, was T46. Missed the cut at the Sony. Missed the cut at the Amex. T25 at the Farmers. Waste Management, Phoenix. Mexico Open. Cognizant Classic. Cut. T16 at the Puerto Rico Open. Missed the cut at the Players. Missed the cut at Valspar. Got a T18 at the Texas Children Open. Followed that up with a missed cut at Valero. And then everything seemed to change. He goes, that Punta Cana Championship was a T20. He was T18. Played well. I'm not sure who his partner was in the Zurich, but they did quite well. They were 22 under. But since then, every tournament that he's played -1, he's at minimum been T30. He was 15th at the CJ Cup, 13th at Myrtle Beach, 28 at the Charles Schwab. The only cut that he's missed was the RBC Canadian Open. He missed it by 1. And then U.S. Open T23, Rocket Classic T26, John Deere 21. And those are all nice checks. And then first place at the Scottish Open and 3rd at the Open Championship, making a cool $2.7 million over the course of 2 weeks and completely changing where he's at FedEx Cup wise. And there were some people suggesting that he's so hot right now, he might get the call for Ryder Cup.
Well, when you're on the run that you're on, I mean, you want guys who are playing well. It's not the worst. It's not the worst of ideas. Huss has been. Go ahead.
When are Ryder Cup captains picks announced? When are these going to be? Key dates to know. And they did just say that Oh, Bradley is scheduled to make his 6 captain picks after the BMW on the week commencing August 25th.
Okay, so they got about a
So
month.
there's basically a month left for guys. And I mean, Wyndham Clark was on the last Ryder Cup team. I don't know how popular he is within the other guys, but they did work with Luke Donald and change the rules a little bit, the captain's rules or the captain's agreement, because by all accounts, it looks like Keegan Bradley is going to be a playing captain, and he will cede his captaincy to one of the vice captains for some certain things through that. So Keegan will be on that team, I do think, and he should be. But a lot of the guys that, like a guy like Tony Finau, who's been on the last number of teams, I mean, he can go out and win this tournament, probably gets himself back into the mix. I think they love the guy. They'd like to have him on the team, but you got to be playing at a certain level.
He's not playing well enough to get on that team.
He just hasn't been there right now. Like Jordan Spieth's not even close to the top 12. Does he get in there based on his record? Maybe. But I mean, there's some other guys that are in the top 12, like Mav McNeely's there. I mean, he's never been close to a Ryder Cup team before. Garup's right there after these the last two. So it's going to be fascinating to see how this all shakes down. But I do think that we'll see Keegan, and that'll change things a little bit when it comes to the captaincy. Maybe add one Tiger Woods to the captain's group heading into the tournament.
That'd be fun. Cool. That'd be fun. Hey, before we let you go, Huss, Maverick over in the chat is asking for us to put together a 4-game total teaser for the CFL slate this weekend. So let's quickly hit this. Calgary, Montreal. We can move it to under 55 or over 43. I like the under 55. I think Calgary's defense is going to just go to town on MBT.
Under 55?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest, I think it'll probably come in between, but yeah, I think those are both winners.
Elks Riders, we can take it to 60 or down to 48.
Under 60.
Yeah, I agree as well. Bombers Argos, under 58.5 or over 46.5.
Geez, I keep on just leaning to these unders, but
I know.
I mean, the Bomber offense hasn't really been close. There's no Dalton Schoen. Stanley Bryant's still potentially out. Like
Toronto can't run the ball. I think if we can get under 58.5, 30 to 28 finishes under.
I like it.
Okay. And then the other one, this one, I think we got to be on the over for. Ticats, Lions, over 49.5 or under 61.5. I mean,
no, over 49.5.
There we go. So we got 3 unders and we got 1 over. And I'll get that over to the boys. They'll throw them up in our boosted section at the EST specials at PA. What's coming up on WST today, Huss?
You know what? Cannot wait to have Milt Stiegel on the program.
Oh,
Talk to
awesome.
Milt about the return to Winnipeg last week, and then kind of dive into his thoughts on the Bombers and how they get this straightened out for Saturday night in Toronto. Aaron Korolnik's going to jump on, talk a little Jays, a little CFL as well, and a little bit more in the Jets off season as we count down. We got a week till the arbitration date for Dylan Sandberg, so it's the one final RFA. We'll get to that a little bit with Brandon Rowicki, and that should be a good one. But yeah, Milt Stiegel, very special guest of Winnipeg Sports Talk, coming up at the top of the hour.
Good stuff, buddy. We will let you slide out. Have a good show, and I'll talk with you on Monday.
Yes, for sure. And do me a favor, and do all the people a favor. A tweet or two about the camping excursion. Would love an update. Full report on Monday. I'm setting
the yes, no on will I come back with poison ivy at like minus 200 on the yes. So we'll see how it goes. Talk to you in a few days, man.
Later.
There you go. That is Huss with Winnipeg Sports Talk. There we find it right away. I'm just sending this total teaser over. So what do we got? We got Montreal, Calgary under 55. I'm put that at 55.5. We'll take Edmonton and Sask under 50 or under 60.5. But this number is not going to be as big as the other number, but I still think I'm going to end up loving it. Argos, Bombers, under 58.5. So Toronto, Winnipeg, under 58.5. And then BC, Hamilton, over 49.5. Okay, we'll get that sent off too. That'll be up. Shout out to the grandest of parlays. The DJ and Dan did hit the 750 earlier in the week. Didn't give them love. I apologize, boys. Let's go get another one today. We've got a full slate locked and loaded sitting over there on our EST specials page at Play Alberta. Play Alberta, the title sponsor of EST. It's time to turn up the fun with the new Play Alberta app, your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery, instants, and of course, sports betting. We've got the oil stream coming up right away with myself and the Latino Heat. Hernan Salas is going to join us, and we're going to continue that conversation from the morning show today on the most criticized players in Oilers history. We decide this morning we're going to do a whipping boy bracket. That's going to be going down in August. Who are the 16 individuals that must be in this thing? We're going to dive into that on the oil stream coming out with myself and Hernan in about 5 minutes. And I very much look forward to that conversation. Thank you very much for joining us in the Lock Shop today. Best of luck if you're riding with us tonight, and I'll talk to you on Monday on the Lock Shop.